Okay, so every once in a while in Java, you're going to want to be able to generate some random numbers. And for this course, we're mostly going to be using random integers. So there's two really efficient ways to do that. And the first one and the easiest is using the built-in math class, and the method is called random. So if I declare an integer variable num and I set it equal to Math.random, I'm going to get a number back from here that's somewhere between 0 and 1. It's not going to include the 1 in that range, and that goes for pretty much all ranges in programming. The top of the range is almost always exclusive, which means it'll go all the way up to but not include the final number. So this would give us between 0 and 0.9999999 to infinity. So that'll give us our random number. However, we don't want to stop with that because we need an integer. So first thing we need to do is we need to cast this to an int. And the way I do that is I put the word int in parentheses, and then that should give me, if I printed it, let's just go ahead and print this. If I print that, it just gives me 0, and it'll give me 0 every time. It's because the only thing that this Math.random is going to give me is something with a decimal, and the integer cast, if I cast this to an integer, it's going to throw out all the decimal data. Only problem is that's all that's there is decimal data, so I'm getting back this. So what we need to do is we need to multiply by the number that we want to go up to. Let's say we go between, let's go to 0 to 100. So we multiply by 100, but there's a slight problem with that too, because the top of the range, remember, is not inclusive. So if we wanted to go all the way to 100, we'd have to do 101. Here will give me from 0 to 99. So I got to wrap that in parentheses. That'll give me from 0 to 99. If I want to go 100, I go 101. The other thing I can do is go from 1 to the number that I'm looking for instead of starting at 0. And the way that I do that is I just add 1. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. 1 plus, and then I'll wrap this in parentheses again. And actually, I think that's addition. So order of operations would probably say I don't need to do that. So what I'm doing is adding 1 to the Math.random times 100. And what that's going to do is take my 0 to 99 and shift everything over 1. So whatever my lowest number that I could possibly be, that's going to get shifted over. So the 0 is going to get shifted over to the 1. And this is going to get shifted over to 101, which is going to give me a top range of 0. So to test this, let's start from scratch, and I'll just start with 3 and instead of 100. So I'll do this, and you can see already I get the 3, I get 2. So I'm only getting 1, 2, or 3. I'm not getting the 0 in there. So if I take this out, I don't get anything but 1, 2, or 0. This is going to take me from 0 to 2. So if you look down here, all I'm getting is 0, 1s, and 2s there. But if I go 4 here, I will eventually get a 3, and I got one right off the bat, which was cool. So there's another way to do this with the logic already done for us, and that is through the Java util random class. So the random class is an object that's inside of java.util. So I can import Java util random. And instead of using this stuff, I can declare a new random object. So I'm instantiating a new random object, and then I'm going to set my num equal to rand dot, and then the random class has a method called next int, which automatically gets me a random integer. So I can go 100 here, and that'll give me from 0 to 99. So just like before, if I wanted to shift it over one, I would have to add 1 to this. So if we wanted to test that out, I could go 3. And if I wanted to go 0 to 3, I could just put a 4 there, and it would go 0 to 4, and we can test that out. I got a 0 right off the bat, and I went all the way up to 3 right off the bat. But I never get to that 4 because the top of that range is exclusive. And then I could go 3, and then add 1. And I go all the way up to the 3, never go below 1, so it's 1. My range is from 1 to 3. So those are the two ways that you can use random integers, and later on I'll show you what we're going to use those for.